Welcome to Off Air with Christy Capel. I am joined by one of my favorites that I had to have him on twice. Is that what we're going? Is that what we're going with? Michael Mackie is back, and he's here to talk about his brand new book. I'm so pumped for him. It's called "You Have 4 Minutes: My Life as an Unlikely Celebrity Interviewer." The celebrity stories are so entertaining. It's raw at times, laugh out loud funny. It was meant to be for you. Welcome back on my show.
Good.
Okay. Most people don't get a second chance, by the way.
I know. It is one and done. And so I feel blessed and highly favored to be back on the show. First of all, girl, we look good.
We do.
That's all I'm going to say about that. Look at your muscles. Oh,
yep. I've been working out. Hey, people, come together.
Yeah. All right.
Okay. And we lost all of our listeners. What's up?
No, we haven't. Now they're just coming in because they love us. So you have been on this journey with me. This book, woman, has taken 5 years. I started it during the pandemic because I had nothing else to do.
Right.
I was like, you know what? I think I'm gonna write a book because what else do I have to do? I'm a writer, and it's the pandemic. I'm trapped at home, and I wrote the book. I got it done, and then because I'm completely delusional, I sent it out to probably like 30 different agents, 30 different publishers, just thinking, oh, this thing gonna get snapped up right away because it's brilliant.
Yeah. Of course.
Let's kiss. And then guess what? I was 0 for 30. So I would no sooner hit send on the very unsolicited proposal, and I would get an email back saying, who are you? We don't care. Why would you? Don't solicit us ever again. Don't call us.
We'll call you
ever again. So I was chagrined, and so I put it on ice. For like 2 years, I was like, well, this clearly isn't the right time. And then last year, right about this very nanosecond, I got a travel show. I got my own travel show on PBS.
Yes, which I knew about. Is that still going?
No.
Oh.
It was literally one and done. That thing supernovaed. It burned brightly and then it flamed out. I think PBS got a little scared because they were losing their funding, and so all the bottom feeders, we were first to get cut, unfortunately.
Darn it.
But it was enough. That one show was enough to propel me back into the spotlight enough that publishing houses started calling me. And they were like, hey, this is just a random question. We know you solicited this book. Do you have your own show? And
wow.
You know me, I'm just like...
Of course I have my own show.
Everyone's so stupid. And that, kids and campers, is what got me the book deal. So even though I lost, the show was called Get Lost. I lost, Get Lost. It paved the way.
Yeah.
This book, which is something that I've always wanted to do. So everything.
Which I didn't even know all these years. I've known you for
100 years.
100. Yeah, we look really good. The Botox is working well for the both of us. That you were even working on a book even 5 years ago. Like, I didn't even know it was something you were interested in. Now, Michael is a fabulous writer. So it only makes
Is that
sense.
3 words? Fab. You.
List. Absolutely. Yeah. But it's funny because you talk about the chapters. There's 52 chapters, but it's a nod, right? So he's like, you're like Taylor Swift. Like when she announces a new album, everything's like dropping clues. You know what I mean? Like everything's like little secrets, and there's little hidden meanings behind this. So I think it's so great. So talk about the 52 chapters for a reason.
Well, thank you for getting that. No one gets it. Okay, so fun fact. If you know me, you know that I am obsessed. I am obsessed with the B-52s. I have been pretty much since birth, since the very first time I saw them on MTV. I can tell you exactly where I was, what I was wearing when Legal Tender came on way back in 1983, and like time stopped.
That was the year I was born.
Me too. I was in diapers. It was crazy that I would see that on TV as a newborn, brand new newborn. And right when I saw them at 3 months old, I was like, I will be their friend. I don't know how, I don't know when, I don't know why, but I will be their friend someday. And by God, I think sheer will made that happen. And over the years, I wouldn't say we're friends, but chummy. They know me, I know them. I'm pleasant, I'm polite. They're pleasant, polite. And so when I started writing the book, the biggest and best chapter was the one about Cindy Wilson. And I love her. Cindy Wilson is the one who goes, "Tin roof." Rusted. That is her. And again, because I am delusional, I asked her to write the foreword. And after a lot of begging and pleading and cajoling, I would like to point out that Cindy Wilson, there's the camera.
What? How long did it take you to get to her, though? Was it email after email?
It was a lot of emails.
Yeah.
It was probably 6 months. But once the ball was rolling, she was in because, and this is a weird fun fact, I spent the entire day with her back in 2018 in Athens. I flew to Athens. I spent the day with her, interviewing her for a series of pieces. And she remembered me, thank God. I would hope she remembered me after a whole day of spending time together in Athens, but you never know. Who knows? And so I relived that, spending the entire day with her. You know when you have an idol and you idolize them so hard, you crush on them so hard, and then there I am spending 8 hours with her.
Yeah.
I lost my ever-loving.
It's surreal. Yeah.
And just last night, the B-52s were in Detroit. They're playing alongside Debo. They're on the Cosmic De-Evolution tour, and they were in town. And so I, again, because my life works in mysterious ways, batted my eyelashes and went backstage last night. And girl,
are you serious? Michael Mackie.
Dolph, clap. Everyone. So I love the B-52s. I love Fred. I love Kate. They both signed the book too. It was a very kumbaya moment. I'm not gonna lie. Still an afterglow.
Yeah. I was wondering what face lotion you were using.
That's the glow of the bees, man. I gotta tell you.
How fun. Did you get a picture with her?
I did. I got pictures with all of them holding my book and signing my book. I mean, again, not to beat a dead horse, blessed and highly favored. So,
yeah.
Fred, of course, Fred has a blurb in the book. I asked a lot of celebrities to write blurbs about my book. Some of them flat out said, no, absolutely not. And a lot of them said, sure, I'll give you a thumbs up. So they're all in the book. I probably got about a dozen well-known celebs to hype my book.
That is amazing. Isn't that crazy how you went from this to crazy this, and now you're like living the dream of something you always wish you would have done?
Pinch me.
Yeah.
Pinch me.
But there's a time for everything. That's what I always say. At one point, you were cranking out a chapter a day. Why were you? How? That's difficult. And why did you decide to do that?
Well, not gonna lie. When the publisher that Ascend Books, when they snapped me up, I turned in the book and I was like, "Here you go, publish away. It's done." And the publisher was like, "You're cute." He said it was probably 35% done. Christy Capel, I gave them a book and thought it was done, and he tells me it's not even 50% done. And he goes, "You got a lot of writing to do." Wow. And he goes, "I'm going to challenge you right now," because the book was due-ish around Memorial Day. And he goes, "You have to crank out at least a chapter a day in February." And I'm going to tell you, I did. And it was the best stuff in the book is the stuff that I was mandated to write on deadline, because I don't know about you, but I do know you. We function best on deadline.
Exactly. I was just saying on TV, I pee in 2 minutes during a commercial break and I can eat a full breakfast in 2 minutes. Like, it's crazy. We do.
I bet you can eat a whole breakfast in 2 minutes, girl. It's impressive. And by impressive, I mean appalling.
I I knew a lot in several minutes. He's crazy. Anyway, the cover photo, gorgeous, darling. It's gorgeous.
Okay, so
But I've seen that picture a couple times. I heard it. 1,000? Did you take 1,000 pictures to get that one?
I took 1,000 photos.
It's so good.
I was exhausted. And that, young lady, was the very last photo that was snapped in the entire shoot. And you'll notice I have I'm going like this. I'm going, is this almost over? Because I'm dying. Please tell me this is, okay, click. And
how funny. They always say that. It's always the last one out of the.
I'm going to give a shout out to Rye Studio in just outside of Kansas City because they made the sparkle in my eye even sparklier. It was.
It's a great photo of you.
I've never looked that good, and now it's slapped on a book for everyone to see. So if you see me in real life, be like, "Is that photo?" No.
Just don't take any selfies when you see it in Target.
Right.
I'm just kidding.
No, absolutely not. No.
So you got the book deal. The show got canceled. We talk about it being a blessing in disguise, but you have so many great interviews, with different celebrities, but you also talk about your life journey, which I think is crazy. When Michael was on my show, my gosh, several months ago, Michael and I met through kind of like TV stuff and Miss Missouri and Miss USA stuff. And I was so fascinated that he had interviewed so many very well-known celebrities, and that was basically our interview, and then just how we know each other. But man, so much was put into this book, and so you get it back, and they're like, you're telling them things like your sobriety walk, your sobriety journey, and what that's been like. They're like, add that and add this. So take me back. Well, you were in Cleveland several years ago. We went to lunch and you're like, I'm like, what was that? Like 6 years sober at that point in time. And now you're 10. So walk us in that journey and like how that even began for you. I mean, we all go through rough times in life and it's hard to handle.
I am closing in on 10 years sober by the grace of God, go I. And I got to tell you, I had just lost my job. This was 2015. I just lost my job unexpectedly in TV. I had just lost my mom unexpectedly. And so, you know what? 2014 was when all the bad stuff happened. And in 2015, I just started drinking all the time in my house alone, like a bottle of wine every night, bottle of wine. And then towards the end, that became like a bottle and a half of wine. And I remember it was like towards the end of the year, and my physician, who I love, by the way, said, "Hey, you're overdue for a physical. You need to come in." And oddly, he had like one appointment left on like December 29th. He goes, "But you got to go get your lab work done. So get that done and then come see me on Thursday or whatever." And so I went on Tuesday, and he calls me on Wednesday. He calls me like the day before, and he goes, "Get in here." And I was like, "Oh, that's not good." And I go in, and he's got the paperwork, and he's literally shaking his head, and he was like, what is happening? He goes, "If you were a betting man, Mackie, how much weight do you think you've put on this last year?" And I was like, rude. I was like, well, I will admit I've put on a few pounds here or there, but you make it sound like I need to be shopping at Kansas Tent and Awning. I will say 25 pounds, 30 at the absolute most. And he goes, "Try again." And I go, "No, I've gained 30 pounds, maybe 35, but that is on the extreme high end. There's no way."
A few particles of clothes, right?
And he goes, "You have gained 59.5 pounds. You have gained 60 pounds in a year, Mackie.
Wow.
5 pounds a month. What is happening?" And I'm like, "I don't know." Well, I knew what was happening. I was drinking a bottle of wine every night just because I was self-medicating because I was miserable. And so I did what any good, raging, out-of-control alcoholic would do. I went home and I binge drank through that entire New Year's. I drank pretty much for 3 days. I never left my bed.
Wow.
And I got up January 2nd and ask any alcoholic who says, "I am never drinking again," that never works, except for the one time it did, and that was me. And on January 2nd, when I woke up after a 3-day bender, I vowed never to drink again, and I have not. And that was January 2nd of 2016. So
and
again,
that's even The Sober Whisper is a chapter in your book. I mean, you explain that moment of giving it up and never going back.
And again, I phoned a friend. I said, hey, I'm a mess. And that friend, who was also in recovery, took me to AA that day. And that friend, AA, the support of all my friends and family, saved my life because I was on a downward trajectory, believe you me.
Yeah.
And along the way, I don't know how, I don't know why, I just started really being my authentic, best, genuine self and just writing about my struggles and how I was constantly triggered and that I was not drinking and that, I was an alcoholic. And then a funny thing happened. People just started reaching out. They were in the same boat. And I can't tell you how many people I have literally led by the hand and took them to their first AA meeting. So I jokingly called myself the Sober Whisperer because people are struggling. I mean, I wanted to do what I could to help people feel supported and seen and get on the path to a better version of them. If that involved sobriety, then so be it.
Yeah. Yes. And I think, we're all used for something, right? I just had talked to Oksana Bayul. Remember the gold medal Olympic skater? She's incredible. And, she went through that and got a DUI and, became, all the fame, and she started drinking, but she talks about still being triggered. And I know that is a possibility. And life is not perfect. It's still like you're walking at daily, right?
It takes a lot. It's funny. People come into my house and they look around and they see my bar and they go, what? How do you have alcohol? And I go, you guys, I don't mean to be flippant, but I don't drink alcohol. But you sure as hell won't find wine in my house because that is my kryptonite. That is the bane of my existence. If people say, hey, I'm having a happy hour or whatever, I'll go for a hot minute. I'll say hi because it's not, there are bars and places everywhere. So it's fine. If there's something at a wine bar, I'll tell you that much, that I absolutely do not go to because wine, no. Right. So I make sure that I am not in a place that I could potentially be triggered.
Right. Yeah. You also talk about no sugar for a year. Dude, so I did that during Miss Missouri, Miss USA, but that only went on for 4 months. There is no way I would ever or could ever do no sugar for a year. I need to. How did you make that happen?
I was challenged by my editor to write a year-long piece. And this year-long piece could be whatever I wanted to. And so I decided to give up sugar. And my motto was no gluten, no sugar, no gluten, no starches, no kidding. And the weight fell off. It was a whole thing, but I was homicidal for at least I could have killed anyone at any time because that's how much I miss sugar.
Yes.
When you deny me of my Reese's peanut butter cup.
Those are my favorite too. Yeah.
I know.
Yeah. It's hard. I mean, I don't know. Good for you. I know that when I've let go sugar at times, and I'm talking 2 months increments, and I drop weight. And so there's something to that. If you're looking, trying to find that magic pill, sugar, take it out of your diet.
That chapter, oddly, was never going in the book. I was never going to write about my year without sugar. And then my publisher was like, do you know that if you Google your name, Michael Mackie, it auto-populates to Michael Mackie Sugar? I'm like, that is my destiny, Christy Capel. Michael Mackie Sugar. So.
Wow. Okay. So do you have
better than, I guess, Michael Mackie Arrest or,
horrible person, or I guess it could be a lot worse these days. But are you on a no sugar? Or do you just no, okay. Me either.
Girl, that's why this camera is only
stop it. Michael also
it's funny. My weight fluctuates more than Oprah. Bless. But here's the thing. If I want to right now, I'm in my enjoy my book launch phase. And so if you hand me a croissant, I'm gonna eat that croissant.
Yes, you are.
Enjoy that croissant.
Michael also goes on to talk in his book about the massive stroke that he had, which you would never even be able to tell, but I know, share that story about that time in life.
Well, apparently when you turn 40, the wheels fall off. I think I had just turned 40 and I suffered a massive right cerebral infarction, and which is a decent medium-sized stroke. And it happened in St. Louis. I was going to see some friends in St. Louis, and I had this whole day of fun planned. It was very exciting. And I got up that morning and I felt awful. I felt like I had the flu. Actually, I felt like I'd been hit by a truck. And I was nauseous. My head was pounding. Everything got progressively more difficult to do that morning. And I just remember I sat down in my bed and I was thinking about going back to bed, and I grabbed my computer for some reason. And I'm working on my computer and I got so mad because my computer wasn't working. My computer, I was like, this just was working when I went to bed. Well, it wasn't that my computer wasn't working. It's that I wasn't working. And so here I'm just typing away, la, 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 la. This is all that's happening.
Wow.
And I'm like, well, that's weird. My arm's asleep. I never put two and two together. And then don't ask me why I did this, but I got up and I took a step and just ate the floor because my left leg had gone out. And so I hopped, make this mental image. I hopped on my good leg up to the mirror, and I still to this day do not know why I did this, but I looked in the mirror and I tried to say my ABCs, and in my head, I was saying A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K. I was saying the ABCs as fast as I could. All I heard out of my mouth was, And so I was like, holy crap, I'm having a stroke. So I called 911, and the operator was very nice. She was like, sir, we are well aware that you're having a medical emergency. The ambulance has already been dispatched. Here's the problem. You are in a hotel. We don't know what room you're in. You cannot communicate. You have to get to the lobby. And by this point, the stroke is really starting to hit, and I am starting to lose, the wherewithal. I'm starting to lose just everything was starting to get fuzzy. And I was like, I'm not going to die in this hotel room. So I hopped on my good leg down to the lobby. I could hear the ambulance. I mean, when I tell you it was all serendipity, the ambulance was literally right around the corner. I made a visual with that ambulance as they were pulling in, and I don't remember anything after that. And they got me back to the hospital, and this is 100 years ago, right when this new drug called a TPA, it's called a clot buster, was brand new. And they didn't even wait. The emergency room nurse just took it, and she right into my gut. And I was back in 0.04 seconds. I was still paralyzed, still couldn't talk, but at least I was lucid. At least I was sentient again. And after about 3 days, I started to gain my mobility back. I could think more clearly. My speech started to come back slowly but surely. And what came out of that was, after I got bounced out of the hospital, I vowed, Christy Capel, that I was never for the next year going to say no to anything, because I was, up until that point, I was just kind of like going through the motions of life. I was literally, life was happening, but I was just felt, I don't know if it's a midlife crisis or what, but after your brain explodes and you almost die, it's kind of an eye opener. So
yeah, you rethink your life. Yes.
I'm not going to say no to anything anyone asks of me for an entire year. It is yes. It is immediate yes, without doubt. And then, of course, my friends found out about it, and they were like, hey, do you want to go skydiving? And I was like, no. Yes. Hey, do you want to go whitewater rafting? No. Yes. And my year of yes is also in the book, about how saying no gets you nowhere. No shuts down a conversation. So say yes. Say yes and everything.
That's like the Yes Day, that movie. Oh my gosh.
Yes and.
My kids watch that. They're like, can we do that today? I'm like, never. No. We don't have yes days.
No means no.
And it means no. Michael has interviewed so many celebrities, and I know we've talked about this, but some of you who are new listeners, you were in your 20s, really, I think, when you started interviewing celebrities, which I can't imagine doing that. I don't really get starstruck. I'm not like a starstruck person. I just like go do my job. This was cool. Okay, move on to the next. But can you remember your first interview in your 20s and what that moment was like? I look back even in my almost 20 years of being on television, of like interviewing people. I'm like, what was I doing? That was a terrible question. Whatever. Critiquing yourself.
My first one was so horrific. I don't even know where to start. I do remember this much. I was at a TV station in Des Moines, KCCI. I was news leader, and it was this giant legacy station. I think at the time this is the early 90s. I think we were the number one CBS affiliate in the country. It was a huge thing. It was a huge, big deal. And the assignment editor, this was over the lunch hour, and the assignment editor was big mad. He was sweaty and having a day, and he was like, ugh, I forgot we have this celebrity coming in. Ugh, who wants it? Who wants this interview?
So true.
It was like cockroaches when you turn the lights on. Like, reporters ran from the newsroom to get out of interviewing the celebrity because they were all hard news. They wanted nothing to do with fluffy entertainment pieces or feature. No, it was politics and crime. If it bleeds, it leads.
Right.
And then I looked around and I was like, well, I'll do it. And I wasn't even a reporter. I think I was in promotion at the time. And the assignment editor was like, go get him. Knock yourself out. And I was like, well, who is it? And he was like, I don't know. She's in the bathroom freshening up. Just go get ready. And so the videographer is so mad that he has to miss his lunch, and he sets up this like between two ferns lighting with like, it was like interrogation room. It was awful. And I was like, well, I don't even know who I'm interviewing. And then in walks, like, I'm in the middle of saying, who am I interviewing? Joanne Worley. Is suddenly like, we are this close. And she's like, hi. And I was like, hi. Joanne Worley, ? I thought it was her. It was her. She was a little before my time. She was laughing. Anyway. Yeah. Not once in the entire interview did I ever ask Joanne Worley why she was in town, what she was doing here, what's new, what's exciting, what's going on. No. I asked her completely out of context, Joanne, tell me, who was your favorite teacher? Christy, what? Was that germane to anything? No, it was not germane to anything.
What? Oh my gosh, that's hilarious.
Joanne, I was deadly serious. Joanne, tell me, who was your favorite teacher? I couldn't have been more earnest. She probably thought I'd lost my ever-loving mind, and that was the highlight of the interview. It went downhill from there. And it was so bad, I don't know if any of it was usable. Thank God that was before social media. But then it was the next week, Sherman Hemsley showed up from the Jeffersons, and they were like, just have Mackie do it. He seems like it, whatever. So I became an accidental celebrity interviewer. And then the next week was like Dennis Weaver. So it was this weird smattering of like B-list TV stars that I had seen growing up, and
And that was when they used to travel too, because then there was that moment in time where they would do something like this. You just do a talk back from the station, and that was, but now like they don't. Now with social media and stuff and podcasts, like they don't travel again. But that was the time when celebrities were flying all over the country.
I didn't even think to save any of those. So the early ones, the ones from like the early 90s, still on beta tape. or Betamax. I don't even remember what we shot on back then. I should have saved those. Talk about a time warp. Talk about, oh God.
Yeah. Well, do you have a favorite? Because you've interviewed so many. I know that's probably a hard question, but do you have a favorite?
Probably, well, other than Cindy Wilson of the B-52s.
Right.
Other than her, it's probably Lindsay Wagner, because Lindsay Wagner, the Bionic Woman. I mean, as a boy of a certain age, I grew up watching her. I idolized her. Mm-hmm. No one was in my 6-year-old world was more important than Lindsay Wagner. And when she walked in and she was like very ethereal and I swear to God, she was floating off the ground and she was wearing like gauzy and clothing that was very fluid. She looked like Stevie Nicks and she was like, "Hi, I'm Lindsay Wagner." I lost it. I was like, and fortunately I got my bearings together, but my Lindsay Wagner story, and then you have to read the book because at the end of the interview, she goes, "I'm hungry. Do you want to go get breakfast?" And I'm like, yes, Lindsay Wagner. And so, yeah, it's Lindsay Wagner is right up there. So is Jennifer Lopez.
Oh, you've interviewed Jennifer Lopez? Huh.
I was expecting diva.
Yeah. Kind of comes across as that during interviews, but sometimes they're different.
I got Jenny from the block used to have a little, now she got a lot.
Nice.
I got J-Lo, and she could not have been nice. So was Jennifer Aniston. Jennifer Aniston was at the zenith of her friend's success.
Oh.
I interviewed her, and she loved her some Michael Mackie too. It's all in the book, Christy Capel.
I know. You can't give it all away. Don't give it all away.
It's called You Have 4 Minutes. And why is it called You Have 4 Minutes? Because you and I both know when you interview celebrities,
4 minutes.
Maybe.
If you ignore the producer's time cues,
I know.
You have 5.
And we've been chatting like a half an hour. That's like 10 times the amount of time,
Well, it's so funny because this is how my podcast came to be, because I said you only get 4 to 5 minutes with these guests, and we have crazy fun, awesome, like big celebrities sometimes come through Cleveland. And I'm like, we need more time with them. Like they, so then I started my podcast. Now I get all the time in the world that I want with them. However, I wrote this down. That's why I'm looking at my notes. You are still waiting on Dolly Parton and Madonna. What is your problem? Get on it.
Have you interviewed Dolly?
No, I really want to.
Madonna?
No, not even close. I'm closer to Dolly.
I've been in the same room as Dolly twice, but I cannot, for whatever reason, I cannot seem to get her. She is, in my world, she is the big white whale, big blonde whale. I have to get Dolly.
She's so awesome.
If this book does nothing else, Dolly, when you see this podcast, and I know you will, Dolly, just know we are kindred spirits. And I will eat Velveeta cheese in your honor whilst I interview you to pay homage to you, Dolly.
He'll even write a new book if he can interview Dolly. Can we get a second book out of you if you get Dolly and Madonna?
Yeah.
Okay.
I haven't interviewed anybody I haven't interviewed like a super, like somebody who's at the zenith, like a Taylor Swift or like stratospheric, like Tom Cruise. J-Lo's up there and so is Jennifer Aniston. But like, those people who seem so unreachable, unattainable in my world, that's Dolly. She just seems. Yeah. But I'm a will that to happen.
You are. And then you're going to get your own show with it. You need to keep doing these interviews and stuff. Get another show back.
Yeah. And take them on the road. It'll be Get Lost.
I think it's really cool that you went on into your book to like interview people that you've worked with, right? Because I know all the people behind the scenes don't get enough recognition. They make us look good. They make us feel comfortable. And you decided to put something like that in a chapter. I think that's awesome.
The people who made me a success, or the people who are close to me, I actually rude. I actually let them write a chapter in the book because I would not be here today if it wasn't for them.
Yeah.
And a few celebrities along the way I've actually become friends with. And I very graciously asked them if they would write a chapter, and some of them did. Some of them gave me book blurbs. I mean, everybody's been really, really genuinely nice through this whole process, except for Chris Kattan, who is the worst person I've ever interviewed.
Okay, wait. Tell that real quick. No, what happened?
He's literally the worst. Okay, there's a chapter in the book called The Good, the Bad, and the Chris Kattan. I'm not sure what Chris Kattan was allegedly on that day when I interviewed him. Let's just say he was very sweaty and proceeded to eat an apple inexplicably during the interview, and
During
not in
the
a funny way.
interview.
He didn't eat an apple like Mr. Peepers. He ate an apple like it was weird. And so it was bad, and I knew it was bad, and I thought he was having a heart attack because he was sweating so much. And then it was just gross. And then at the end of the interview, I don't know what came over me. I just was like, Chris, thank you so much for almost being here today. Okay, fast up while we're talking, girl talk. Who is your worst celebrity? I know you have one. You gotta have one.
I don't know if I have a worst. Like, those are, you got me beat. Like, I don't even bad ones. We had Snoop Dogg in the studio. That was cool. That was fun. But that was a while ago. Just had Oksana Bayon. And speaking of podcasts, I've had some great podcast interviews too. I don't know. They've all been just so genuinely nice. Jane Kennedy, supermodel Jane Kennedy from the CBS Sports Show. I just had her on. She was a guest on our morning show. So she was coming through Cleveland, and I emailed her PR guy. I'm like, can I talk to her on my podcast? Absolutely. Super nice. She's just as gorgeous. Just in her, I think she's in her 70s. You know who I'm talking about, right?
Oh yeah.
Oh my gosh. That was fun.
We should all look that good at age 70. You all need to. Did you see my interview with Anna Nicole Smith? The train wreck that was.
Okay, no, but I've heard that. But if you're just listening, yikes! Tell it. Just tell it.
She was. Anna Nicole. What? She couldn't answer a question to save her life about anything. So mad and so frustrated that it was just like, I'm just gonna. This interview is going nowhere. So I was like, Anna, pop quiz. Are you ready? Pop quiz. Answer the following questions as fast as you possibly can. And she was like, okay. and I go, Anna, quick. How many people were in the Jackson 5? And she goes, what?
No.
5. I'm not kidding. This lives on YouTube. You can find it. I go, when was the War of 1812? And she goes, "1812."
Was that during her days of like
Smith? God bless.
Yeah. I know she had some rough years. Maybe that was in the middle of that.
Now that I'm just spewing out these stories, I just realized this is a really good book. My story.
I was just about to say that. Hey, by the way, you have 4 minutes. Are you going to do an audiobook? People are clamoring for it.
My goal is to potentially get it out by Christmas, but
okay. Okay.
Let's just relish in the fact that I actually have a book out into the ether.
No, we need you to do this. I know. This is, and when you go on Amazon, I actually read the reviews, and it was review after review. I'm like, when did my friend get so popular? What the heck are you doing? Don't forget me.
All $20. I'm not gonna lie. I was like,
they're paragraph reviews, Michael. And if you get a chance, and maybe you've already read them, go back and read them when you're having like, I don't know, crummy day or something, because people are loving your book. It literally, you've heard us for how many minutes? Almost 40 minutes. It is laugh out loud funny, but there are all these like learning moments that I think we can all learn from, what you went through, and just who doesn't love celebrity stories anyway? And Michael is the best writer in the whole world. So pick it up. Christmas will be here in a few months, so you need to grab it. It's on Amazon. You have 4 minutes. My life as an unlikely celebrity interviewer. Let's give it up for Michael Mackie.
Slow clap. I've never been more proud of anything in my entire life than I am of this book. And it is an homage to all things celebrityism, but it's really I dedicated the book to my parents, because they could never figure out how I made a living stringing words together, because mom was an accountant and dad was an engineer, and so they were like, I don't know, is that left brain and I was right brain? I don't know, whatever brain.
Sure.
But they gave birth to a creative, and they were like, and you're a writer. What's that like? So this book, is an ode to them because you know what? Even though they didn't get it, they always supported me.
Yes.
So be a writer.
And I know they're proud of you for sure. I have loved catching up again. All right. So about 6 months, you want to come back on for something else?
Yeah. I don't know what. Let's make it happen. By then I should have Dolly under my.
Yes. We're going to hope for Dolly. All right.
Who do you want to interview still? Who's at the top of your?
Dolly's on my list.
Oh, Dolly's if you get Dolly and you don't invite me to go to Indy, we are breaking up.
Have you been to Dollywood?
Yeah.
We should go to Dollywood together and ride the rides.
We'll be closer to her. Yeah. So, because she's coming to Cleveland, and so let's go.
Sure.
I will fly in. I will catch the red eye.
Okay. Michael and I need our own show. The only problem is I wouldn't be able to actually talk. I would just laugh the whole time at you.
That is not true. The sun rises and sets on you as far as I'm concerned.
Whatever. I love you. Okay. You go get that book, everybody. Again, on Amazon. Can we get it in like Target and stuff? Like what do we need to do for that?
It is.
Who do I need to call?
Yeah, no, not yet, but it's sprinkled around the Midwest, but I don't think it's made its way to your neck of the woods. But I did see it at the Kansas City International Airport.
Oh, did you freak out?
A little bit.
I'm so proud of you.
Oh my God, my book is in the wild.
It's loose in the wild.
Free, set them free.
You're awesome. Keep us updated. Go get his book. Bye.
I love you.